That might be a good time to finish up on your part one
Yep.
of this podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to return afterwards, and I want to ask about like how you managed to find a church and stuff when you first moved back to Sydney and things like that.
Yeah.
So let's save that for part two. Welcome back, everyone, to the Chip Lunch Podcast, and it is part two of Erin's journey. I was trying to think of a
Meandering wanderings through life.
Yeah, Erin's wandering ways. Erin's misadventures. Erin's.
Yeah, let's roll with that.
I was trying to think of like another word for journey. Quest? No.
That sounds too intense
Life
to me.
Journey, I'm just thinking, don't stop believing.
You don't stop. Apparently, you can get apparently YouTube. I heard Joe Rogan saying recently, if you just even sing a song, like YouTube strikes you for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently.
I thought you had to. I thought if it was under a certain, like it was under so many seconds. you were
Oh,
fine.
so that would be fine.
Yeah.
Just don't stop.
Yeah.
Believing.
Oh, you just said
We're done.
don't stop.
Is
Stop.
that the end of The Sopranos? That song. That's like the last thing that happens. Anyway.
I'm glad you asked me because I've been watching a lot of Sopranos clips lately.
I've
Anyway.
never seen The Sopranos.
Anyway.
I would.
That's
highly
what that
recommend
song
it.
makes me think of them in the diner at the end of The Sopranos. Anyway.
Oh, so it just makes me think of Glee.
Yeah,
I think it
that's
is.
true.
I think you're right. Now I'm thinking
Yeah,
about
that
it.
song.
She
It cuts
puts.
to black and then it plays that song.
I think it's they put it in. They put money in the jukebox. And
Yeah.
it starts playing it.
Yes.
And then it finishes
Anyway.
like that.
Charles.
There's a lot of problems with the Sopranos fans had a lot of problems with how it finished because there's no final ending, and so
Spoilers.
they leave it up to did he get whacked
oh,
or
it's
not?
so
Didn't like it.
No.
You wouldn't like that.
No, I really like clear, definitive
I
answers.
feel like
Resolution.
not many shows have a definitive
No.
ending anymore.
And I read a lot of books, and there's a lot of books of and then you're like, but what happened? But what are they doing now? But
What books do you read?
just all books. I'm just always got my head in a book.
Yeah.
Probably like fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, a mix of all kinds of things. But my favorite ones are kind of like the
give us some
detective-y,
tier
who-done
one-
it kind of.
tier
Tier
one
one,
Yeah,
tier
tier
one.
Not favorite,
Yeah,
tier one.
yeah.
Give
tier
us
one.
some tier ones.
So I like the kind of Australian sort of crime drama, kind of ones. So like your Jane Harper type kind of stories. Or like doesn't have to be Australian. There's another author called Dervla McTiernan who
Dervla.
writes.
It's gotta be Irish.
She's Irish.
Yeah.
She
That's
is
the vibe.
amazing. So like that, I feel they're like my kind of tier ones. But I just like a really easy kind of like a funny sort of romance kind of easy read as well. That because I just feel like I've got enough drama going on in my life.
Don't need to be
and I
stressed.
just like to zone out. So I like, those kinds of, those ones. So like Emily Henry type genres for those who are into the books. Yeah, it's just easy.
I don't know. Emily
Don't have to
Henry.
think too hard about it.
Yeah.
Lighthearted.
I'm super picky with fiction. Like I like reading fiction, but I get so picky with it.
I like
nowadays.
fantasy as well. So like, obviously like the classics like Lord of the Rings and like the Harry Potter series and there's a series called Aragon.
I've heard of that.
Really
I'd
loved.
see that one. That was the one where he got to the end. Now, again, I haven't read that since I was in high school, but he didn't know how he was going to end it. You could
Yeah.
tell. He got to the last book
Yeah.
and he's like,
And that was
this.
left a
And
bit
you're
like,
really, bro?
I want
Anyway.
a bit more definitive, but I really loved like the stories and
But he
the
was super young when he
imagery
wrote
and
that, wasn't he?
yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, all of that sort of stuff.
Dragons and stuff.
Dragons.
Yeah, dragons and stuff.
Dragons and
Narnia.
stuff. Have you always liked reading? Or is-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big reader. Yeah.
Is it an escape for you, like reading lots of fiction? I
Yeah.
think it is for some people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to enter the world of
Yes.
dragons.
Alternate realities.
Yeah, I read more non-fiction, so
Yeah, okay.
which I do, but it's I actually have realised again that I should not be reading too much non-fiction before I go to bed. Like I always like to read before I go to sleep, and it's not working very well for me at the moment.
Why?
Oh, because I'm reading a book. I'm still
You
reading.
get too into it, or
No, I'm still reading a book on the rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid. But then it makes me think of all the stuff that I should be doing with the boys team that I train.
oh.
So it just gets me like my brain just starts. And
That's why fiction for the win.
Yeah. It's similar we'd have to read a business book. The same thing happens.
Yeah.
So
See, I don't. It's just too challenging for my brain reading that kind of matter.
I mean, like a biography is quite good.
Yeah.
And I did read.
Sleep.
Well, that's why it kind of helps.
Yeah.
But there's another one that I read called Tunnel 29, which was about a guy trying to tunnel under the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was actually a really good book.
Yeah.
Have you
So
read
like
that?
ones like that, no, I haven't, but I know of it, yeah, but I haven't read it. But ones like that are really good. Like I really like books like that as well.
Yeah, that like a historical
and
fiction.
biographies, yeah, obviously.
But they've got to be a good one because
Depending on
they can
who
be
it
boring.
is, yeah. So we love like a lot of kind of British comedians, and so I've read a lot of their books, like you know, like your Lee Mack, David Mitchell,
Jimmy Carr.
Michael McIntyre, those guys. All of their biographies and books. Alex Horn, love that guy, obsessed with him.
Beck and I watched every season of Taskmaster last year.
Yes,
Like, that was like our put it on. I don't want to stress again, like just like easy.
yeah,
funny,
yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
Want to watch something that's
Yes.
not like people yelling at each other.
Yes. Or it is people yelling
Yeah,
at each
but
other,
in a
but in a
fun
fun way. Yeah, we love like all of those guys. So again, like all those biographies, like are amazing. It's great to know, like, you know, how they got their start and how they got to where they're at and all and their experiences and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. They're my escapes. I feel like reading and that kind of TV, UK kind of comedy panel shows. Would I lie to you? You know, like Taskmaster, like those kinds of things.
The big fat quiz. That
Yeah.
one.
I think
8 out of 10 cats.
That one's I like 8 out of 10 cats does countdown.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
the one
I know,
that's
but
made me
yeah.
laugh the most.
Yeah, I know
Sean,
that's
before
hilarious,
Sean
but wildly
passed away.
inappropriate.
Oh,
Oh, Sean Locke.
He was so
he was the
the
best.
tiger that went for
So
a pint. It's like maybe one of the funniest things. Anyway,
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Or the one where he's like,
the carrot in a box.
The-
that
Oh,
Yeah,
Carrot,
the Carrot
in the box.
is
That's
funny.
the best ever.
I like the one where they're like, what's your greatest achievement? And he's like, when I won Rectum of the Year.
That's right.
That is so
Right.
good. That makes me laugh
It's
so
just so,
much.
but it's the way he delivers it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just so dry.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, I
But
don't know how he
when
just
he's
doesn't
like, I
crack
went up
himself
against
up.
Diego Maradona to win the world titles. And he bent over and set the sprinklers off. It's so good. It's so funny. Hilarious. It's a bit sad that he passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he used to be like a bricklayer.
yeah,
That's what's
you can tell
interesting.
because he's
Mm.
the way that he delivers and relates to people.
Yep. That's a good point. You know many bricklayers?
I know a few. I remember labouring for Napa, and one of the days was the day that bricklayer
Oh, that
came,
is-
and I had the like
I've done
6.
that. Brick grabs.
Yeah. Oh,
That is hard work.
Oh, yeah. Anyway,
I reckon I laboured for the same guy because I used to
Yeah.
I laboured for the same for Craig as well,
yeah.
and it was almost 2 days of mixing like mud mortar, carrying it up 2 ladders.
Yeah, my thing
buckets
was like
up
it was
to-
like one of those houses in Enmore that are like super, like what are they called? Like the
Terrace.
Like
terrace
semi-detached.
houses.
Or,
But they had removed the floor, so I was like walking with 6 bricks in each hand on like a beam, back and forward
oh my gosh.
with a drop. Just like-
I did
Things
very,
you-
How is
something
your
very
balance?
similar in a house
Yeah.
in Redfern. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, and it was raining too when I was doing it.
and it was raining both ways uphill.
amazing. See, I employ these kinds of people, labourers.
No, so you're like waving at
I'm
us.
very
Nick.
hands off the tools.
Yeah, totally. Well, I am now. That probably scarred me for life.
Yeah, I reckon it might have.
Season of life. Anyway, let's get back to your life.
Yes.
Look at that segue.
Yeah.
Segue. Where did we get up to? I'm trying to remember. You moved back to the city. Oh, you were just telling us before, though. You tell us about you have siblings.
I do have
Yeah.
siblings.
Yes. How many siblings do you
I have 2 older siblings.
2 older siblings.
Yes, both boys.
Okay.
I am the youngest and the only girl
Yeah.
and the best.
And the best. And one's in London, you were saying.
My oldest brother Peter is in London.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So he and his wife and 2 children they moved over for I think a year, about 15 years ago. So Pete got a secondment. So a lot of people in Soul Revival know Pete or know of Pete because he is Matt Redmond's bestie from high school.
And bandmate.
And bandmate. Yes. So Pete moved over. He got a secondment with his work. And so they kind of went over. I think it was for a year, and then so they moved to Manchester. And Pete is a massive Liverpool FC nut.
Nice.
And so I watch what I say in present company. So that was kind of amazing for him. So they all they went over. They just had their 2 kids. Matthew, their youngest, was literally I think 5-6 weeks old when they moved.
Wow.
Rachel was
that's
3.
A plane trip.
Yeah. So they went over there, but it was amazing. It was a good experience for them. But yeah, then it kind of got extended, and then they offered him a job in London, and so then they moved to London, and then that got extended, and then so on and so forth, and they're still there.
You visited them?
I've never been. Yeah,
don't want to.
I'd love to. Just circumstances haven't
okay.
allowed. Yeah. So one of these days. They were over recently though. In December, January. That was amazing.
When they played, the reunion.
The reunion.
That was fun.
It was so fun. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so the boys had the best time with their cousins, and we all just did. It was so nice. It was so nice. It was it's devastating when they have to leave. But anyway,
It would be. Off you go.
Because they were older when you moved to the country. Did your whole family moved? Like your older brothers, did they move as well, or did they stay?
So Pete stayed. So Pete,
So you went to Port Hacking. That's where Matt and Pete became friends at Port Hacking. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Keep going.
Yes.
Okay. But he would have been older, so he would have almost.
They're 5 years older than me. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, but because it was that age gap, I just thought it was a big enough age gap where Pete was kind of out on his own a bit. So I just thought he was the bee's knees. Whereas Andrew and I, we're only a year apart.
Yeah.
And everyone always used to think we were twins.
Oh, we were having this discussion on Sunday night. Yes.
Yeah, but we're not twins, so I'm only half a human.
Yes.
So yeah. But yeah, Andrew and I, we were always together, did everything together, but then would consequently fight a lot as well. Whereas Pete was that step removed, so I just kind of idolized him. And then when he had when he was with his friends, I was like, oh, you guys are the coolest. So it was that kind of age gap. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Where was I going with that? I don't know. The country city thing. Okay, so my parents bought basically a block of land in the country when I was maybe 6 or 7. It had a falling down building on it. It was 3 walls, a roof and a rotted out floor.
Yeah.
It's an 1860s or 1840s Presbyterian church.
Oh, wow.
This sounds like a restoration in Australia.
Yeah, so that's what we were doing. So we were going
sounds like one of those grand designs that goes very badly.
And it took so many years to do.
We've only got a budget of 400,000.
Yeah, next cut. It's just the guy because the wife's left.
Yeah. I'm out of here. I've had enough.
The budget's become a bit tight.
The marriage is broken down.
He's now living in the trailer.
They always fire the project manager. I'm like, it's the worst. And I'm going to manage the job myself. I'm like, it's the worst idea ever.
No, don't do it. I just strongly recommend that you don't do
Kevin's
that.
back. And I really like how you've done this. Thanks, Kev.
But sorry to hear about the marriage breakdown. But I love I love how the light fixtures are looking.
What you've done.
Yeah.
And then let me do that piece to camera as I walk around here.
Yeah. It was no grand designs.
The reason I said there's a show called Restoration Australia, and they did pretty much exactly what you were saying. It was
with the church building.
Stone, or it was at least sandstone,
Yeah.
and then was falling down, and
Yeah,
someone's
yeah.
bought it, and they're like,
So
we're
that
just
was
coming down on
us.
weekends.
Yeah, so we did that on the weekends, did it up. Well, sorry, when I say we, it was largely mum and dad, obviously. But we were like, we had to help at certain times, and other times we just got on the bikes and disappeared for the day.
Nice.
Yeah, back in the day when you could do that.
Well, you carried it on into school, I think.
I did. I started young. Yeah, so it was just like a long kind of project. But we did that. We lived in a caravan because we couldn't live in the building. And then we got the building to a certain point where we could then live in it. And then over time, put bathrooms on, a laundry on, bedrooms on eventually. So it eventually got to the point where then we could move down there full time, which was kind of the halfway through year 9. Incidentally, we also planted a vineyard down there, and my dad did a wine science course, built a winery and made wine as well. So yeah, that's also that's what the kind of grand plan was from the start. That was the whole reason for doing it, so a bit more context.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
It is still there. It's not being run as a winery though anymore. They've sold it 15, 20 years ago and moved to the Southern Highlands. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you moved back to the city, you made a choice and ended up going to Gymea Babs.
Yes.
Like you very much could have at that point just not gone to church. Why do you think you made that choice to actually go back to church? Because you could have just been like, yeah, okay, that's what I did with mum and dad, and now I'm back here and I'm just going to hang out with my school friends
in the
and do
big
whatever.
smoke.
In the big smoke
Yeah.
of the Shire.
Yeah.
I think it's that foundation that
Yeah.
I kind of have been touching on. I think because I had that foundation and it was planted firmly enough in the core of me to be I think just something that I thought was true. And so, and I did, because I had friends who were at church, I just think that obviously helped, but church was important enough, or God was important enough to me at that point in my life to want to continue that journey. Part of my journey or my identity. It was part of my identity and my belief systems that I wanted to pursue it. Yeah.
It also sounds like God wasn't going to let you go too easily.
Well, I think
like you said, like
that's
you're just talking about people in your
I don't
workplace.
want to credit me. It's not me. It's obviously like God holding on to me more than I was holding on to him, I think. Which I'm incredibly thankful for now because I've gotten to this point now. But it was there was a bit of coming and going.
And when you look back on that, like over just your whole life, not just even when you came back to the city, can you see more moments like that in hindsight? Like maybe didn't see it at the time, but more in hindsight.
I think with hindsight, there's much more clarity with everything. When you look kind of back on things, but I can't. There are sort of moments, but again, I can't say that one moment was more significant than another moment. It's my life again. I don't use Instagram a huge amount these days, apart from to share silly reels with some of my friends. But my Instagram handle is my perfect ordinary, and the reason that is my handle is because my life is I just see myself as an ordinary person. I don't mean this in a bad way. There's nothing stand out or showy about me. I live an ordinary life. I've got a house, a family and a dog in the suburbs. I'm, like average build, average looking, average job, average, I'm not like, I don't have a strong skill set in one area that's really showy or anything like that. I just meander my way through an ordinary life. But to me, that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with ordinary. Ordinary is perfect. That's what life is. And so that's why I kind of created that Instagram handle. And so when I look back over my ordinary life, there's just lots of moments, everyday moments, and I can't give one moment kind of more weight than any other moment. I just think I've wound up in this place just through a series of ordinary, everyday kind of moments. And yes, can I identify some moments with a bit more clarity looking back? Yeah, I can. But again, there's just so many moments, so many people that God's put in my path, so many things that I've heard or seen or conversations I've had that have shaped me and gotten me to where I am.
In all the years of this podcast, I don't know if I've heard people talk about their career and stuff, but I've never heard that many people say, oh, then I moved to this place and there was a Christian, and then I moved to this place and there was a Christian. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not bad. It's just
no,
like,
it's not bad.
I kind of would like that too.
Yeah.
Like, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So we've kind of touched on it a number of times, but you go to Soul Revival Cronulla now.
I do. But
I don't know, what's the story? So you said that the connection was originally with your brother, obviously, and you came to Kirrawee a few times.
I did.
But do you want to give us the full all the details?
Yeah. So obviously I knew of Soul Revival through Matt, or through Pete, who knew all about it, obviously from Matt. So it was always something that I knew a bit about as it kind of got planted and then got started up and was growing and all of that sort of stuff. Always kind of knew a little bit about the journey. So Chris and I had kind of finished up at Gymea Baptist. So there was a time when we were there, Carl Faze was the senior pastor at Gymea Baptist Church. And then when Carl left, we kind of left around the same time. And it was just one of those times, there's sort of a changing of the guards and, there's a lot of kind of comings and goings, and we were a bit sort of unsettled. That was that unsettled time in my life when I was a bit kind of, where do I fit in at church anyway? So we were kind of coming and going a bit on the fringe anyway. But we finished up there at that time, and it's then that we kind of were like, at church or like not at church, trying a church, didn't like that, then we weren't going to church kind of thing. So Soul Revival was kind of on the radar during that time. Then kind of COVID hit, and so then it all just kind of went on the back burner again. And we also had the little kids, so I guess starting at a church with the kids is hard. And so for a number of reasons, we just kind of weren't going, or would try somewhere and then it kind of got too hard basket or wasn't our vibe, and then would stop going or whatever. And so then during COVID, I said, okay, let's commit to going back to church when we can, and let's try Soul Revival. We've tried some other options that were kind of closer to home, which was the main reason we tried the other ones, because I was sort of carrying bar based, a bit closer to home. It's like, let's just go to Soul Revival, like we know a bit about it. So we're going to go to Kirrawee. So that was kind of what we'd planned to do. And when Pete, my oldest brother, had been in Australia visiting, he wanted to go to Soul Revival to catch up with Matt. Well, he wanted to go to church for God, but also wanted to, catching up with Matt was important to him as well. And the church was important to him because it was Matt's, so much of Matt's time and energy and journey or whatever as well. So I had been to Kirrawee a couple of times with Pete and had liked the vibe there. I was saying to you guys before, I think when we were off air, some of the churches that we'd kind of trialed were very much a bit of a hipster vibe, or a bit of a show, all the lights go event. Down and
it's like going to the movies.
Yeah, and we didn't that wasn't our vibe. We didn't kind of like that. So whereas, conversely, Soul Revival is, let's keep the light on, and it was just very, very low key and very normal, and that very much appealed to me. So that's kind of the back story and where we kind of got to. I said, right, it's time to, let's try Soul Revival. And then we found that there was a Soul Revival Cronulla gathering. So we were planning on going to Kirrawee, but then we saw the Cronulla one and went, oh, well, let's try it like Cronulla. Knew nothing about it. So we just rocked up and, same kind of vibe. Liked it. And here we are. We're still there.
But this was when it would have been when it was at the
Anglican
Church.
the Elephant Church.
The elephant.
Yeah.
So Just imagining a huge elephant in there.
The elephant, yeah. The
Always thought it was
elephant in the room, yeah.
Yeah, it's always weird they used to call it the elephant
Yeah,
house. I
yeah,
never knew why.
But that's what, a lot of people know it as. So, that's when it was there. So, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I think it was just the normalcy of it all, and it was just low key. Everyone was just very normal and approachable, and
Can I ask you what? It's great that you've been there for 4 years, because at Cronulla there has been a little bit of transience.
Transience.
What keeps you there, and then what do you think like God is doing through you being there for 4 years and staying there?
Yeah. So when we got there, we went, wow, it's very small and an eclectic group of people. It was more so at the time. I think we gave it a little while. And then I think we just started making some connections with some of the people there and thought, okay, these are some great people. But Chris, I remember when we were talking and kind of praying about it around the time, and Chris said something that stuck with me, and he was talking to somebody else about it, and I can't remember the context of the discussion or who the discussion was with, but he said he got the sense that God had maybe directed us there because maybe the church needed us as much as we needed the church. And I went, that's something that just kind of stuck in my mind. And I think that might be part of it. I do think that God maybe did pop us there because I think his plan might have just been that we would stay there and we would commit to that group of people and we would help to kind of just keep it going. And that is what we've done. We have committed. We did commit at one point, still fairly on in the piece, and we said, no, let's commit to Cronulla. It's not everything perhaps that we might have thought that it could have been. And by that, I just mean, what we were used to, perhaps with bigger groups of people, easier to kind of connect in with people when you have more people or more options or more kids ministry, for instance, is a big one. Our kids have been the only children for the whole time that we've been at church, which has been at times, again, there's good and bad to that. At times it has been a big struggle and something that we've thought kind of long and hard about, but we did commit and we are still committed. And I think that must have been God's plan for us there. So I think that a big part of it is that commitment that we made that's kept us there even through challenging times. And another part of it is just the vibes, the people, the relationships that we've formed there. Some of my best kind of friends are now there. I just love my friends from that group. And another part of it, I think, at least for me, is the opportunities that it's given me to be involved as well. I just feel really, I said early on again, I think to Jai and maybe Fee, how can I help? And I just said, I'm not bringing I don't want to come and say, I can do this, that, or the other. What do you need done? And I will do it. And I think for me, that's been a big part of what's kept me there as well, just being involved, having the opportunity and the privilege to be involved in keeping a church group up and running, and just, I don't know, just getting to kind of serve God and that group of people and a wider community in that way.
You're serving the music ministry as well, which is sick.
Yeah, music. So again, that was very, so when we started going there, we either had someone come down from Kirrawee to do music, such as you, and there were a couple of other people that kind of would come down from time to time. Or other weeks we just wouldn't have anyone to do music, and it would be Spotify or no music. And I can sing. I'm not overly confident kind of about, I've never been overly confident about it because I've never performed, but I've sung at church, and I know that I can sing well enough to hold a tune.
You can.
I said to I think we were talking about it at some stage, and I kind of said I can sing if that is helpful. And Jai learned guitar just so that we could have music at Cronulla. And like, honestly, he talks himself down all the time. But what a legend to learn guitar so that we can have a music ministry that we can have music at church. And he does a better job than what he says or what he thinks he does. And I will not be argued with.
I agree. I completely agree.
He's good, and he just thinks that he's not. Anyway, Jai, you are good.
Yes.
Full stop. So it has, him and I got together and started leading the worship down there. And I don't know who was more nervous. And even still now, we're still. But we love doing it. Or I love doing. I mean, I am a walking jukebox. I sing. My life is 90% musical theatre. There's a song for everything. Just ask my kids. I'm just constantly, or my neighbours. I'm constantly singing. All my workmates. I just sing. I'm just singing all the time. So I love to sing at church. I love doing it. Jai might be a little more reluctant to be playing, but because he is better than he thinks he is, then I think it's fine. But I love doing it, and I love doing it with Jai as well. So I just feel it's a real privilege to be in a service role. So it's not something that I take lightly. I try to do it thoughtfully, mindfully and prayerfully. But it is also a real passion of mine and something that I love doing. So I get to be involved in that, and that's a real privilege.
That's
for
awesome.
me, something that I'm really excited about. I do that. I just do like some Bible reading. I'm part of the team that kind of arrives to do setup and all of that sort of stuff. I just do whatever kind of needs to be done.
We appreciate how much you're serving there. That's awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
No, it's my pleasure. I love it.
No, the pleasure is mine.
I feel it's a real privilege. I love it. It's great to be part of that group of people. We have fun doing it.
You've mentioned your family a number of times. Can you tell us about your family? You've got 2 boys.
I've got two boys. So Kyan is 11, turning 12, and Jarvis is 9, turning 10. Both September birthdays. As is my husband. As is Father's Day.
That's a busy.
Busy
and
period. So Chris is the 4th of September, Kyan's the 7th of September, and then Father's Day falls on one or both of, those kind of like it falls around that time as well. So sometimes Father's Day is on Chris's birthday and sometimes it's on Kyan's. And sometimes it's on neither, and I just have 3 events basically in that number of days. And then Jarvis is the 19th. So we've basically got 2-week turnaround time, and then it's Jarvis's birthday. Really great planning there. But so it's a busy time. So Kyan's in year 6 this year, off to high school next year, so that'll be big changes. Jarvis in year 4 this year. Yeah, so the boys, there was so Chris, my husband, is a twin. There was like plenty of conjecture when we were having our first child, whether, we would be having twins as well, because twins also run on my my biological kind of side of the family as well. So, there was a chance that we could have had twins, but
very likely,
we just had, just the boys. And we didn't find out the gender of our babies either. Like it was, just 2 boys is what God chose to give us. Yeah. And, we're happy with that.
Everyone that comes on the pod that's a parent, I ask them this question: what has God taught you through being a parent?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, how long have you got? You are gonna need a 50-part series. I think for me, the biggest part would just be just trust. Just trust, because as a parent, it's not about you anymore and your choices and what you can control. Like you have given birth to other beings. Then they're their own people with their own brains and their own choices, and you can't control them. Like, yes, when they're tiny, tiny little babies, somewhat you can, but the older they get, the more, they go out on their own, as they should. And turn into their own kind of people. And it's just this constant thing of, I have to let them go. I have to let them fall. I have to let them hurt themselves. I have to let them explore. And it's just a big trust thing, And then, you're trying to lay the foundations for of belief in God. And again, you can't control it. All you can do is lay the best foundation you can and trust. And so many people have done that, and their children.
Many people.
I haven't chosen to follow God. So it's hard. I think the biggest one for me is every day just turning back to God and trusting and patience. Is a big one, because it's relentless. Day in, day out, you've got your challenges, and
you can't leave. Can you? It's like one of the things the biggest responsibility in your life. You can't leave ever. Yeah,
that's it. You can't turn around and take it back. You can't, or you can't put it on hold. You can't, like a piece of paperwork. Oh, I don't want to deal with that. I'll park it over there. I'll deal with that tomorrow. That's next week's problem. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's, it's such a blessing, such a privilege, such a responsibility. So tiring. So it's a massive mixed bag. But I just think, trust and patience would be probably the biggest things.
That's very true.
Yeah.
You can tell us about Chris? Husband?
Chris, so Chris and I, we've been married for, goodness, a long time. 15 years now. So we kind of knew, we basically met through Guyme Baptist. We had concurrent kind of groups of friends. It was sort of overlapping, at the edges. So we more knew of each other than knew each other. But we became friends after a time. Then eventually that kind of meandered its way into to a little more than friends. And so we got married in 2011, and here we are all these years later, life looking very different. And I think with any marriage, it's been a journey. It's had its highs, it's had its lows. But I just feel, again, we have a firm foundation, luckily, in each other and in God. We have some great people surrounding us, and we've come through some really kind of rocky times, but we've come out the other side. And he is someone who really grounds me. So I'm your more exuberant, emotional kind of type of person, and he's very cool, calm and collected, very grounded. And so I think when sometimes we disagree on things and we can frustrate each other with the way we then choose to deal with those things, I think that God has put us together, because we to complement each other, and I know that he does. He definitely does kind of ground me and keep me focused and stuff when I can tend to go my own way or get a bit caught up in my thoughts or feelings or that kind of stuff. He's a psychologist. He has done kind of family mediation work and different kind of forms of psychology, counselling and stuff. He does kind of return to work psych work at the moment. So if you kind of sustain an injury on the job, whether that's a psychological injury or a physical injury, which then has a psychological kind of component to it or whatever, that's kind of what he does as a job. He's been doing that for a long time now. What else can I tell you? He is incredibly patient to put up with the boys and I. He's a big Sharks fan. He likes to, I'm someone who in my downtime likes to kind of do nothing, or, I'm happy to not leave the house. He's a bit more kind of on the go, wants to be doing something.
Let's do something, yeah.
Not good at not doing nothing. So if he's at home, he's pottering around doing something. He loves the garden, working in the garden, stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's kind of a bit about us. Again, we're not a family of let's go out and do this and do that and experiences and things. We are a bit of a homebody kind of family. We all like being at home, doing stuff around home, just enjoying our home, or just popping out in our downtime for a walk, a bit of a bush bash or a bike ride or a beach walk or kind of low key stuff like that, or just kicking the footy around, or a bit of a hit at the nets or something like that.
Get down to the nets.
Yeah.
Practice
I'm big on cricket as well. So my some of my biggest passions in life, cricket, Formula 1, music, the dog, nature.
The dog.
The dog. I'm obsessed with my dog. There is a joke I say to the boys, who's my favourite child? And they say, it's Frankie.
Frankie's a good name for a dog, though.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
She was named after Frank Sinatra.
She was named after Frankie.
Well, it was the blue eyes when she was a puppy. And we just always liked the name Frankie for a girl. And obviously we had boys. That was not our girl's name, but it was kind of in the mix, and we liked the name. So when we had Frankie and she had her puppy blue eyes, it was what about Frankie?
That's a good name, though.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Well, we've heard a lot about your life. There's the final question, though, to ask you before we wrap up the jibs. Unless you have anything else that you would like to get information on, Brett.
Wow, it sounds like it's like
What do
a
you want to grill me on now?
a deposition or
Yeah,
something.
right.
Flip open your police notebook,
Oh my gosh.
pull it out
I
of your
think the
pocket.
final-
There is
final
this
question's
one
gonna be-
outstanding matter. Yeah.
Yes,
There is one
yes.
outstanding matter I'd like to draw your attention to here. It's,
Where were you on?
where were you on the Friday the 15th? Yeah.
I was at home with my dog.
And can anyone verify that? What is it? No, you're gonna
Frankie?
Yeah, who can
Frankie-
but
Frankie asked
she's got
me.
an alibi. Yeah. I never use that word except in a police context. We've talked a lot about your life, and, moving to this country and the city and all that kind of stuff.
Eating a lot of peaches.
Just going to consistently refer to a song.
Yeah.
You just like it's a deep cut. It's an Easter egg. People really know what we're talking about. What would you, if you could go back in time, and from what you know now, what would you tell your younger Christian self?
You floored me.
Oh, have that effect on people.
He's modest too.
Yes, got another compliment. Come
I
on.
don't know if that one was a compliment.
I take it as one.
There may have been a note of sarcasm.
Yes.
Braden may have detected.
Stop deflecting. You need to answer the question.
Oh my gosh. I think you just gotta have faith, a faith, a faith.
Oh. Which version
I
of
just
that?
just
You don't know the Limp Bizkit version?
Oh, jeez. I was like, what? George
or
Michael?
Bon
Yeah.
Jovi.
Did Bon Jovi do one too, did he?
Yeah, we gotta
If-
keep the faith.
Oh, it's
Oh.
no different.
I was thinking more just that song.
Anyway, we digress.
John
I
Bovey.
think just like kind of confidence in God ultimately. He's got this. And I just think if you're open to God, then like of course God is so open to you. And like we've talked about, it's evident in my life that even when I've been wandering here, there, and everywhere, meandering, God's been there, And I just think I would just like my younger Christian self to go, do you know what? Even through all my bad choices, my wanderings, my questionings, my not knowing so much, God's there. And you can be entirely open with God. And this is something that I is a big part of my kind of relationship with God, is just total openness, because He knows it all anyway. So, I know that some people kind of think or struggle when they're feeling a bit angry with God, or they don't know things, or they're feeling lost or something, and then they might struggle to open themselves up to God in light of that. Whereas for me, I kind of have been able to allow myself to just be totally open with God. What are you doing? I don't get it. Or I just, I feel really upset about this. I feel like this has made me angry, or like whatever it is.
We can give it to him.
I can just give it to him. He knows what's in my heart anyway. He knows it all. So, whether I say it to him or not, he knows. So I might as well say it to him, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
So I just think in that confidence in God. He's there. He's got it. It's in control. We don't understand so much of this life, but he does. And I think, and I've talked to my community group, about my faith. I'm not an intellectual kind of person. I'm not a book smarts kind of person. I'm not somebody who studies deeply. Nothing has changed from my HSC days. I struggle to read kind of, non-fiction books. I struggle to get into the Bible and like read the Bible sometimes. And there'll be times when I'm just like, I'm not reading. I've fallen out of the habit. It's just, as much as I love reading things that I have to apply myself and think through, I struggle with. I'm not that kind of studious type of person. And I do have a bit of a childlike faith at times, even, in my 44th year. Like I still have that childlike kind of mentality of just going, do you know what? Like, I don't understand it. And that's okay, because I trust God. And I think ultimately for me, that's what it comes down to, is just that 100% faith that God is real, God is there, God has it, God can use it, and just to have confidence kind of in that.
Well, Jesus says for us to have a faith like a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, because I'm just not that studious kind of type. Sometimes when I start thinking about something, I get overwhelmed by it quite quickly. And so, it's in that time of overwhelm that I just and then I just stop thinking. I just go, it's too much for me. I just trust in you, God, which I think that to some people might seem like a bit of a cop-out as well. And I don't mean it to be a cop-out. I just think I know my limitations. And some people are more studious, and more and can and like deep diving for answers, or can do that, or are more intellectual and can understand it. I can't understand it. My brain doesn't work in that way. I can't. I don't get anything out of it. I just confuse and overwhelm myself. I don't mean it as a cop out or a fallback. I just that's the way that God's created me, and obviously I'm still called to study the Bible and to read the Bible and to understand the Bible and all of that sort of stuff. But in terms of being too studious and academic about it, that's when I'm not, and I give it to God in that time. So that's kind of what I mean by that more simplistic childlike faith. I'm not going to be the one that's deep diving for all of the answers. I'm kind of more happy to say I don't know, or I don't understand, and be okay with that. And I honestly think that that's okay as well. I think not all of us are called to have all of the answers. None of us have all of the answers. Sorry, but God's gifted us each differently, and there's some amongst us who are called to be more studious and have more answers and be able to pass on God's knowledge. And there's some amongst us who perhaps that's not their greatest calling, which is probably people like me. So for anyone like me, I guess my point is just saying, don't feel that you're less than you are.
That's
because God has created us in these ways. And I don't mean it as a cop-out. I'm not saying don't find the answers that you need, or if something is on your heart and you need to find the answers and you need to sort it out, of course, go and do that. But don't feel like we all have to be academics, because we're not.
There's a freedom in being able to give it to God. That's what I hear you saying. I think that's...
Yeah.
Well, Erin, thank you for coming on the podcast. I think the thing that I have really appreciated about today in hearing your story is your honesty. And you said you're a pretty open book. I think you are. I think that's right. But I think there's something that is always, I really appreciate that, just individually. But there's also something that we can welcome other people to be like that. So one of the reasons that we do this podcast is to encourage other Christians. And I think by you being open and honest about lots of things, that hopefully they can encourage other people to do that too. And I think there's something maybe in a Christian environment or a Christian community, is that vulnerability is actually really important for us to grow as Christians as well, and that we can love and support each other as a result. And I think there aren't many better places to do that in a Christian community, because we know there's this foundation that you're speaking about, that we're all saved. And then in the knowledge of that, then we have an understanding of sin, right? And it's like, therefore we can understand somewhat what other people are going through. It doesn't mean we have the same, you or I have the same experience, right? But we can sit with each other in the things that we're going through, whether they're good or bad. So thank you for your honesty.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And like I've said, you know, don't see myself as anything special or anything kind of. I'm my perfect ordinary, or God's perfect ordinary.
Yeah, God is perfect, so you can live an ordinary life, kind of thing. Isn't it? Any final words, Braden?
Oh, I've just enjoyed getting to hang out.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Same.
really glad that God has placed you guys at Cronulla. I always look forward to seeing you guys when I'm there.
I love it when you come
like,
down. Yeah.
And I think even Kyan and Jarvis often, they're often running around at Cronulla, and that's just so much fun. I was
They're always running around.
Oh, it was so good. On Sunday I was there, and they one of them threw a ball at Stu while I was trying to do something, and it was very funny. Just like, I don't know, like there's just something about the movement of like when you're at church and there's like kids at church that just kind of like break up the whole thing, and it's so good. It stopped like And I also just see like, I don't know, me growing up with just brothers, like that was very much our experience of like how can we just cause some trouble. So I enjoyed it.
And with the kids, so I'm just going to like hark back to one of my earlier points when we were talking about Cronulla and the kids being the only ones there, which has sometimes been a real challenge. In the same way though, it's always been a challenge because they don't have a peer group or they're not making friends, you know, at that kind of stage of life or whatever. But conversely, they've made some great adult friends, and the adults that come down, talk to them like human beings, not like children, you know, and treat them like, and they have conversations with them. They interact with them. They ask them, you know, questions. And that's been great for the boys. And they're so loved and cherished there. And that's really special for Chris and I as well. It's something that Chris and I frequently kind of think about, that they're so cherished by that Cronulla community. And like Stu, when he comes down, and he always, every time Stu comes down, he says, I love these boys, you know? And I'm like, we don't see that much of Stu, but genuinely like he does, you know? And it's really special. And the Cronulla regulars, you know, like they just love them and they interact with them and they give them their time. And, you know, like Josh kind of running the kids stuff down there invests so much into them. And the boys love those guys. Like they think of those guys, like some of those guys like Josh and Jeremy and Jai, you know, they actually think of as their friends.
They are.
Which is awesome.
Which is,
but like it's amazing for them to have that, and that they've had the opportunity to develop deeper relationships because they've been one-on-one.
That's fair.
So that's the
flip side.
Well, we do want to encourage, you know, other families obviously to come, but we have enjoyed that privilege as well as the harder aspects. There have been some really good aspects as well.
Absolutely.
Love it. Well, thank you for your service down there at Cronulla as well. It's
love
awesome.
it.
This is we can tell. And we're really encouraged by you coming on the pod, and thank you very much.
Amazing.
Well, that's it for the latest episode of Chip Lunch Podcast. Thank you for listening. Oh, the badge! Thank you for.
I only said that because I'm looking directly at the pod.
Directly, you get to choose a badge, Erin, for coming on the podcast.
Badge, you say?
Everyone that comes on the podcast gets to choose whether a black or a yellow badge. If I can open the box, here we are. We do this on camera, so you can take your pick.
Ooh.
But I do expect you
nearly
wear it.
drops the whole box.
I do expect that you wear it all for the whole time, the rest of your life.
How could I choose though? Because I don't have favourites.
Well, what you could do is
what
have
am
one
I going to
each.
do?
Which one's tier one?
Just take one each. What did you decide?
What should I do? Over here?
Yeah, just throw it. Just get it out of here.
Amazing.
What did you
I've gone black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
A bit like brushes.
Amazing chip lunch. I'm going to have to go and get some chips. I can't sit and look at these chips and not eat chips.
No, you're welcome to do that too.
With chicken salt extra.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll allow it. Thank you for coming on,
What a
Erin.
guy.
It's been awesome.
What a top bloke.
Thank you, everyone, listening and watching. This has been Chip Lunch, and we always like to finish with a one way. One way.